After a couple of tightly focused episodes to start the season, things change a bit with Out of the Ashes. Several storylines get some love this week. The Hilltop is revisited when Aaron, Carol, Lydia, and Jerry head that way to pick up some blacksmith tools and hunt for something to eat. It's orientation time at the Commonwealth, and Eugene and his crew take a deep dive into Civilization 2.0. Judith and the kids encounter some growing pains when they clash with some teens, and Maggie and Negan make their way back to Alexandria. Dreams are gaining prominence on The Walking Dead. Last week it was Rosita dreaming about Abe, and this week it's Aaron's turn to be visited by the Sandman. Aaron's dream, like Rosita's, comes to a gruesome conclusion, and it's yet another hint that more death is on the horizon. Drama gives way to some humor after Aaron wakes from his dream. Jerry goes to relieve himself, and through the bathroom window, he notices a walker is within Alexandria's walls. It is a mad scramble to fix the breach, and although they are ultimately successful, lives are lost in the process. After some discussion, the decision is made to head to Hilltop to see if there are any tools there to help them rebuild Alexandria's failing walls. In an odd way, it's comforting to know that even after the world has fallen, that some of the cheesier aspects of the old world remain. The Commonwealth's introductory video has all the elements of the worst timeshare videos ever made. As new members of the community, Eugene, Princess, Yumiko, and Ezekiel are forced to watch it, but gain some insight behind how things work in their new home. Through the video, they're introduced to Lance Hornsby, the Commonwealth's Director of Operations, and its leader, Pamela Milton. The Commonwealth is 50,000 strong and places its citizens in areas that best suit their skill set. Eugene and the crew are assigned new duties based on the extensive interviews they previously went through. The only one left out of the mix is Yumiko, who is invited to meet someone in the community. Elsewhere, Negan and Maggie enjoy a leisurely, conflict-free stroll through the woods. Just kidding. After dispatching some walkers, their trust issues bubble to the surface. Negan extends an olive branch, realizing that cooperation is the key to their survival. Maggie blows that idea up, still unwilling to forgive him for killing Glenn. They eventually make their way to a safe house for some momentary shelter, and while there, they continue to be at odds. Negan realizes that their situation is grim, but takes a pragmatic approach to getting home and solving Alexandria's problems. Venturing out into the wilderness runs counter to Maggie's plan, and although they don't see eye to eye, there is no denying that they both care. Waiting for the others to arrive at the safe house proves to be too much for Negan, and when he decides to leave, Maggie gets in his way. Their brief struggle is tense, particularly the moments where they stand silently looking at each other. Any resolution to their fight is cut short when Gabriel and Elijah arrive, opening the door to speculation as to how things would have come to an end between the two. The return to Hilltop is heartbreaking. Rummaging for tools among the charred remains of friends, some who roam the grounds as walkers, is an uneasy sight. Aaron's dream becomes prophetic when he discovers whisperers living in Hilltop's cellar. His actions, motivated by fear and justice, repulse Lydia and awaken something in Carol. Aaron's willingness to torture one of the whisperers echoes last week's scene with Daryl and the Reapers. Although the methods were different, both scenes demonstrated how one's humanity can die in the pursuit of perceived justice. Carol's words stop Aaron from going too far and spares him from making the same mistakes she's made. Judith trains the other kids to kill walkers and notices a group of teens messing around with a walker who has semi-breached one of the walls. She confronts them and receives some pushback. It's not the physical confrontation that wounds Judith, but what is said. Teased by Michonne's absence, the pain of not having either of her parents present cuts deep. Her response to the bullying is nothing that wouldn't be expected of a kid raised by Rick and Michonne, but the hurt in her eyes afterwards reminds us that she's still a kid. Her pain is eventually comforted by Rosita, who lets her see that even though things are in ruin, there is still hope. Out of the Ashes takes Rosita's message and transfers it across the episode's other storylines. Judith's broken palm prints are echoed in Hilltop's ruins and Alexandria's dire situation. The Commonwealth offers optimism, and it's more than what ice cream cones and baked goods can provide. Yumiko's reunion with Tommy and Stephanie's willingness to sidestep the Commonwealth's protocols to help Eugene contact the others in Alexandria are rays of light in the darkness. Even Aaron's dark turn leads to something positive. Connie's survival is confirmed by the renegade whisperer, proving that some good can come out of seeing your enemies differently. It's a message that, while difficult, is something that Maggie and Negan should consider. Who knows? Maybe that conflict will come to an unexpected outcome, too. The Walking Dead, episode 1105, Out of the Ashes, 3 stars.